In the court's quiz tonight, who was the first principal of the now defunct St. Leonard's Girls' School? The late Sylvia Watts. The Caribbean Food Crop Society is being encouraged to challenge governments in the region to set up a facility so that produce can move more freely throughout the region. With an already high food import bill, Minister of Commerce and Trade, Senator Ainsley Benn, says all the evidence already shows that the region is self-sufficient.
I'm telling you that we can feed the millions of tourists that grace our shores. There are enough fruits and vegetables, I'm sure, throughout the Caribbean region at different times of the year that we can do a wonderful job. So Caribbean Food Crop Society, I am urging you to raise your own bar. I am urging you to find your rightful place among the top, among the heads. I'm urging you to start doing, creating presenting some challenges to the heads that we in the Caribbean can depend on our own resources and not necessarily depend on those from North America and wherever we get our wheat.
Mr. Benn was speaking during the closing and awards ceremony of the 47th Caribbean Food Crop Society Conference at the Plantation Garden Theatre last night. He's encouraged the CFCS to play a greater role in Caribbean agriculture, as he believes that it will be the saving grace for most of the countries in the CARICOM. It's against this backdrop that Senator Benn wants the society to improve and increase its research capabilities.
I want to see them find a seat at the heads of government's conferences and conferences among Caribbean agricultural ministers and at quoted meetings. If they are not yet present with a seat, a special seat at those conferences, because of the importance that I know agriculture means to the region, and because of what I saw and heard about this week, and the planning that went on this week, and the speeches and the research work.
Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Kamla Prasad-Bissessar has 2 weeks to remove the 5% wage offer to public servants if her government wants to avoid the possibility of a national strike. Trade union leaders and their members yesterday took their demands in writing to the official residence of the Prime Minister, telling her there could be a national strike if she does not shift from her position. Leader of the group and President General of the Oilfield Workers Trade Union, Ansel Rogers, says the unions do not want to talk unless such dialogue involves the removal of the 5% wage offer. More Haitian doctors have graduated from the Santiago de Cuba-based Caribbean School of Medicine. This week, 115 of them brought the number to 731 Haitian doctors who have passed through that institution. This cooperation project, conceived by Fidel Castro 12 years ago, had its first graduation in 2005, and there are currently another 291 students from Haiti receiving training there with the purpose of graduating 1,000 Haitian doctors in medicine in a decade. The rector of the school said that there are also more than 100 residents on their second specialty, namely pediatrics, surgery, obstetrics and gynecology, and cardiology. The Caribbean School of Medicine was founded almost 31 years ago, and it has already graduated 4,812 physicians, including 1,051 doctors from 25 nations, mainly from the Caribbean and Africa.
Good evening, I'm Kent Jerson, and this is the Business Report. Now, as concern mounts about the rising cost of gas, petroleum dealers in Barbados have moved to assure the public they're not profiteering from the increases. Mike Goddard reports.
The Petroleum Dealers of Barbados Incorporated says it's responding to several queries from members of the public about the high cost of petroleum products. To this end, it has issued a statement intended to illustrate to customers how each dollar spent on gas is divided. They say this is in response to the perception that every time there's a price increase, the dealers retain a large portion of the money for themselves. According to the association, this is not the case. It says the dealer's margin is fixed for every liter of gas, and the breakdown goes like this. The cost at the terminal is 58 cents, excise tax 17 cents, VAT 15 cents, giving government a total take of 32 cents. The marketers retain 4 cents and the dealers get 6 cents. This information provided by the association is the first in its series of educational awareness programs as they seek to educate the public about industry matters. Mike Goddard for the Business Report.
Thank you, Mike. Now, Barbados is exploring every avenue to maximize available opportunities to increase tourism business. In this regard, the island had signed a memorandum of understanding on air services with Panama. The agreement provides the framework for airlines from both countries to operate flights between the two. Lisa Broom has that story.
Minister of International Business and International Transport George Hudson says the signing followed the conclusion of negotiations this week. He believes it will expand international air services opportunities for Barbados. According to him, it will also increase the prospects for tourism, especially since Barbados is a hub for some airlines. Other spin-offs include more trade and commercial activity in general between the two countries and the wider Central and South American region. Barbados and Panama are both members of the International Civil Aviation Organization, having ratified the Convention on International Civil Aviation 1944. It is on the basis of that convention that members of the organization establish bilateral or multilateral air services agreements. The signing comes just over a year after the two countries signed a double taxation agreement. That accord is expected to enhance trade and investment while providing new scope for the movement of professors, teachers, artisans and sports people between the two countries. Lisa Broom for the Business Report.
Thank you, Lisa. A brief look at the stocks now. Here's a summary of today's trading on some of the region's exchanges.
Good evening. Moderate showers and gusty winds prevailed in Barbados today. The maximum temperature was 31.5 degrees Celsius, the minimum 25.6 degrees. At 6 o'clock, the temperature stood at 25.1 degrees Celsius, the relative humidity 93%, and the winds coming in from the east-southeast. We take a look now at our satellite photo where we have one tropical wave to the east of Barbados. It's located at 32 degrees west. It's moving towards the west. It has very few showers associated with it at this time. We take a look now to see exactly what happened in Barbados, and a tropical wave is located at 60 degrees west. The system generated cloudy skies along with moderate showers, along with a few thunderstorms here in Barbados and also over the southern Windward Islands. Now, this system is expected to maintain wet conditions here in Barbados tonight and also into early tomorrow morning. As a result, the Met Office issued a flash flood warning at 5 this evening. It is in effect until 6 tomorrow. We are urging residents in flood-prone areas to exercise caution at this time. Now, the pressure gradient across the region also has been tightened. As a result, we have been experiencing above normal winds. The seas, they are moderate in open water with swells peaking now at 2.5 meters. Once again, we're urging sea bathers and small craft operators to also exercise caution. For the northern islands, well, they enjoy just partly cloudy skies along with a few passing showers. Over now in the Western Caribbean, a tropical wave at 72 degrees west along with a trough system maintained wet conditions over Puerto Rico and also over some of the northern islands. As for the more central islands, they had just a few showers from time to time. That's our first look at the weather. After the break, we'll have the forecast. Welcome back. In the forecast for tonight and tomorrow, the tropical wave along with the trough, they're expected to maintain wet conditions over Puerto Rico, sections of Hispaniola and also Cuba. For us here in the Eastern Caribbean, that tropical wave at 60 degrees west is expected to maintain wet conditions for us here in Barbados and over the Windward Islands tonight into early tomorrow morning. Remember that the flash flood warning is in effect until 6 tomorrow. But as the day progresses, we are expecting a drying out of the atmosphere. As a result, an improvement in weather conditions can be expected late tomorrow. We move now to the 4-day forecast. Come tomorrow, we're expecting some morning showers. Thereafter, it will be fair and breezy. On Sunday, it will be mostly fair and windy. Those conditions also into Monday. On Tuesday, partly cloudy with a few scattered showers. The sun is expected to rise at 5:38 and set at 29 minutes after 6. The first high tide at 10:41 a.m., the first low at 15 minutes after 4 in the early morning. The sea is moderate in open water with swells peaking at 2.5 meters. Small craft operators and sea bathers should exercise caution. The winds coming in from the east-southeast to the east at 15 to 40 kilometers per hour. Barbados tonight will be partly cloudy to cloudy and windy with some scattered showers and possible isolated thunderstorms. Come tomorrow, after a few showers during the morning, it will be mostly fair and breezy. We leave you now with some forecast weather conditions.